Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another episode of the WARFRAME Digest, episode 41. Today we'll be going over Devstream 59 and its relevant topics. We're going to try something different today. We're going to start off with returning and interesting reworks, followed by intended new designs, and ending it off with future features. So let's see what this little design layout does for us, and tell me in the comment section down below, is this a good change? Does it seem more interesting to you? What is your opinion on all the things I'm about to talk about? So let us begin. So let's start off with the intending return and reworks, or redesigns, or whatever I just said 2 seconds ago. So a returning design idea is Charge Attack. Charge Attack is a system that old players knew before Melee 2.0, and for newer players that don't know what this is, what is Charge Attacks? It's a system where you held down the Melee button and you do a strong strike. The strong strikes were the form of doing pretty much a very powerful blow, which used to be spin attacks or these advanced movements for some of the older weapons, doing a lot more damage. That was changed after the combo system. They are intending to return this design into the game to add more variety into the melee play and making it a lot more interesting and more variety overall, I'm repeating myself, to the whole entire playstyle where you want to do selective heavy damage on a combo or just flat out heavy damage from the beginning. And this is an intended design idea that might be making a return in Update 18. It was intended to come out 17, but due to some mechanical changes and some complications, it has been pushed back as far as Update 18. The sniper rework has also been confirmed for Update 18. This has been taken so long due to the new feature they're going to be adding, which is controllable zoom. Players will be allowed to control their zoom depth by scrolling up and down so they can zoom in or zoom out as much as they desire, providing snipers with a lot more control and viability in their little zoom intended design. Currently right now people are saying that the overlay is just a cosmetic feature, which is kinda, depending on the weapon, but it is a well-deserved rework so the snipers feel a lot more sniper-like, along with the new damage buffs and new bonuses that they might be getting. I'm not sure what the bonuses might be, but it's a rework, it can be anything. Another rework that they're talking about is the intended mandatory mod issue. A lot of people are talking about the game having this massive issue, this gaping issue of mandatory mods. An example is Serration, which is your flat out damage for primaries, multi-shot, which is multiple shots per shot on your primaries, and fire rate on your primaries. These three are mandatory for a lot of weapons and they have no downsides. To kind of balance out the game and fix this mandatory issue, they are going to be giving a strange change, according to what the team have said, that was a bug with multi-shot that they just left in the game, just like coptering. Apparently multi-shot was to consume more ammo as it shot more bullets at the same time, thus depleting your ammunition a lot quicker. They are going to be making this. It is still a hot button discussion. They are not intending to do this immediately. It's still something that they're debating back and forth whether or not to do. Multi-shots will consume more ammo, and this will change out the whole entire playfield for Warframe and its weapon modding system, and they are talking about giving other mods a little bit more downsides so that they are a little bit more of a downside and crippling. So every risk has a reward, every potential gain has a loss. So we'll see about that. And for interesting designs, they are talking about having an ability for Kubros. Kubros currently are not a very big thing for some people. A lot of people still use Sentinels over Kubros, considering that Kubros are a little bit more complicated or they have a higher barrier of entry. That, or they don't serve as much of utility as a carrier does for some players. The Kubros are going to have an interesting ability that is still highly in the discussion phase, and it is going to be called the Kubro Pack ability. This idea is that when there are multiple Kubros in a party, there will be an item that you can trigger once per mission that will initiate a grouping of the Kubros and a HAL that will trigger a random effect based on the lead Kubro or on the variety of Kubros in the pack. So the Kubros can consist between 2 players up to 8 players for the raids, but again triggered once per mission. These abilities can range anywhere from mass gathering of items, fearing all the enemies, confusing all the enemies, or reviving your fellow Tenno, which is the biggest feature that they are discussing about, because a lot of people really want this, making Kubros a lot more viable than Sentinels, because Sentinels can't revive you, but Kubros potentially can. So that is very interesting, and Kubo pack mentality and idea and abilities is very welcoming. The Kubos need a little bit more detail, so does Arcwing. Talking about also another interesting intended design is the Mastery rank. Currently, Mastery rank is very weird. It plays a very specific role, and that role is to lock certain weapons behind a Mastery requirement. And some of these items have outlived the game's age, or they just no longer make sense. And a redesign is coming into play with these Mastery locking of weapons. We've already seen the first example of this being that the Syndicate primaries are Mastery locked to 12. This was an intended design, so you have to make this a thing you earn and a thing you strive for, and something you have to play into and invest into, which is always welcoming. They are also talking about going back and wiping all the Mastery rank requirements for the weapons and reassigning a large variety of weapons new Mastery locks. If you already have this weapon before the new Mastery lock system is in place, guess what? You grandfathered into the system and this no longer applies to you. Another interesting system that they're still talking about is the focus system. This has been something that they talked about last year. It didn't make it, it was redesigned, it was cannibalized by the other features, and it just completely phased off the face of the planet. The focus system apparently is still heavily in the works, and apparently it's a lot closer to completion than we believe, and it is intended to be coming out in Update 18. How? Well, they did say one little thing. It will be a quest-bound system. Upon doing the new quest, The Second Dream, in Update 18, we will be unlocking the focus system, along with some very interesting other things that they've been hinting and teasing left and right for the past few weeks. More to come, and more to see. And for the future, what do we have in store for Warframe today? Well, you can see this little lovely thing. It's a brand new Sindana. Yes, it's brand new, even though you've seen it in the game several times. And why did I say brand new Sindana? Because the players can be wearing it, just like you can see Excalibur here. This is Alec V's Corpus cape. It is his Corpus credit cape. It has been stitched together by the oodles and oodles of credits that he's stolen from the board and things that he has invested time and words and money and whatever into the Zanuka project. I mean, this must be leftover funding that he's not clearly using. Yeah, decorative. And we will be getting this, and it looks very weird and out of place on Excalibur. It will look very interesting on some Warframes. I can't wait to color code this. It's going to be very interesting. I say that a lot, but ooh, look pretty cape. And this might be the first of boss cloth materials or boss items that we'll be actually obtaining as cosmetics. I'm curious to see what other bosses we'll get in the future. Along with this little Sindana tweak, they also teased about Trinity being worked on as of right now. Trinity's little lobster butt, lobster tail, lobster cloth will be actually clothanized, I don't know, it will be wavy. So they're going to be changing it, they might upscale it, and they're going to actually give her the treatment that she's been on hold for the last year and a half with that lobster skirt, and Trinity's finally getting some updating and some love, and we'll see more to come. Along with that, they also talked about Siren being the next reworked Warframe. It is going to be interesting to see her powers have more synergy and more of a complementary feel, making her a lot stronger than what she already is and a lot more interesting. Talking about interesting, they also showed off these bad boys. These are the Nunchuck. Currently, as far as we're aware, you cannot dual Nunchuck. You can't go Bruce Lee on people's ass, but you will have one Nunchuck. The Nunchuck currently is called the Ninkondi? The Ninkondi. As you can see here, this is the spelling, they said it will be released next week, so expect it in Wednesday's 10 reinforcements, and here are the following animations. Currently, the Ninkondi looks very beautiful, it is very quick, reminds me of the playstyle of the Twin Daggers, or the Twin Fangs, or the Fang Primes, that are just very quick, very fluid, very circular, and just very, very deadly looking, and very, ooh, ominous. And what else is very ominous? I'm just going around on these things. They talked about Syndicate expansion quests and cutscenes. There will be more expansions to the Syndicates. They will be adding the secret handshakes that we've seen several times for us to play with other people on the relays and with our own clanmates, which would be very, very interesting. And they will be expanding on the Syndicate quests. Maybe in Update 18, it is still very up and down. They still have a lot of work because it's not just one syndicate, it'll be all 6 syndicates at the same time, so it makes things a little bit more complicated. And no expectations for cutscenes to come from the syndicates until next year, as far as we're aware. They did talk about the Vancattë. They did say that maybe they'd be 17.5, at least the feral versions, but they still have a lot of animation work to go into them and a lot of AI mechanics to be implemented, so they will be coming around update 18 most likely. So expect your little kitty cat running alongside your Tenno in the near future in update 18. So that pretty much does it for Devstream 59. There was a lot of interesting ups and downs. We did get to see Sheldon and Rebecca go at it at PvP, showing off the nunchucks, Ninkondi, I don't know, words, blah blah blah. And again, Sheldon's up to his no good little tricking, cheating ways, and Rebecca got fed up and cheated in a Baltor. So that was pretty much it. There was a lot of ups and downs, very interesting. Can't wait to see what else is coming out. They did talk about the Mios, Red Skittles' designed weapon, and it is coming along very nicely. They talked about it being rigged. It still has a lot of animation work to go into it. It's still a very ambitious weapon. They do intend it to be some point 17 if they can squeeze it in there, but everyone look forward to 17.5. That's the expected date. Otherwise, it will be pushed back to 18 yet again. So that pretty much does it for the Warframe Digest. So like, comment, subscribe, do all the good things. Tell me in the comment section down below, what are you looking forward to? What is the returning design you want to see in the game? What are you expecting to be in the game relatively soon? Are you excited for those big... Are you excited for the Vancattë, the giant Tenno kitty cats that will hunt with you? So until next time, take it easy, have fun, and see you guys in game.